One morning, Thomas was puffing happily along his branch line with Annie and Clarabelle. Thomas puffed by Trevor. Beep, beep. Good morning, Trevor, whistled Thomas happily, but Trevor didn't reply. Never mind, said Thomas. I guess he's busy. Then Thomas kept on puffing on. Thomas stopped at a junction where Bill and Ben were resting in a siding. Good morning, Bill and Ben, said Thomas happily. Good morning, Thomas, said Bill. Hello, Thomas, said Ben. You seem excited. Yes, I am, said Thomas, because I'm just being happy today. Just don't be careless, Thomas, said Bill. Yeah, because we don't want you to get into an accident, said Ben. Don't worry, I'll be fine, said Thomas happily, and then he puffed away. Thomas was puffing happily along the countryside. He was too busy daydreaming. Slow down, Thomas, said Annie. Yeah, Thomas, slow down, said Clarabelle. But Thomas wasn't listening. He was too busy going fast. Then there was trouble. Thomas arrived at the docks where Cranky was unloading the cargo on Percy's flatbed. Then Thomas biffed into the cargo. The cargo fell on Thomas. Percy was surprised. Cranky was cross. Watch where you're going. Do you ever watch where you're going? He creaked crossly. Then Percy was cross. Yeah, Thomas, stop being a careless Thomas. Sorry, wheezed Thomas, and he was embarrassed. Then Thomas puffed nervously away. Then Thomas went to Crosby Coal, and then he accidentally bumped into Lady, and Lady went right under the hopper. Cole shot down and went all over Lady. Oh dear, sorry, Lady, said Thomas. Lady was cross. Watch where you going there, Thomas, said Lady crossly. Now, my paint is all dirty now because of you. Oh dear, sorry, said Thomas, and then he rolled away. Thomas was being so careless that he accidentally went right by the station. The passengers were surprised, but Thomas kept on puffing on. Then there was trouble. Thomas was being so careless he biffed into Emily. Emily was surprised. Sorry, Emily, said Thomas, and then he puffed away. Emily was cross. Watch where you're going there, said Emily crossly. Then there was trouble. Thomas was so busy feeling careless that he didn't see Toby having a washdown. Thomas biffed straight into Toby, and Toby came right off the tracks. Oh dear, bust my buffers, said Toby. He was very surprised. Sorry, Toby, said Thomas. Toby was cross. Look what you done now, Thomas, said Toby. My cow ketchup almost broke because of you. Sorry, said Thomas, and then he rolled away. Slow down, Thomas, said Annie. Yeah, slow down, said Clarabelle. But Thomas wasn't listening, and he didn't realize that he was diverted into a siding. Then Thomas biffed the buffers and came right off the tracks. Cinders and ashes, cried Thomas. I'm off the tracks. And then Daisy had to go to the station to pick up Thomas's passengers. And then Daisy puffed away. Thomas felt terrible. Oh dear, said Thomas. Now I'm off the tracks and I was being too careless, and it's all my fault. That night, Oliver and Rosie brought Rocky to go help Thomas. Oh dear, looks like someone's being careless, said Oliver. Then Oliver coupled up to the coaches, and then he pulled the coaches away. And Rocky lowered Thomas back onto the tracks. Sir Topham Hatt was most annoyed. Well, Thomas, I'm very disappointed in you. You have biffed all the other engines off the tracks, and now you have biffed yourself off the tracks. Yes, sir, I was being careless, Thomas. I'm sorry, sir, said Thomas sadly. First, Thomas went to apologize to Percy. I'm sorry, Percy, said Thomas. It's okay, Thomas. We're still best friends, said Percy. Thank you, Percy, said Thomas, and then he puffed away. Then Thomas collected Rocky to go help Toby. At last, Thomas arrived with Rocky to help Toby. I'm very sorry, Toby, said Thomas. I was being careless, Thomas. But I'm here to help you. With a mighty heave and a mighty haul, Rocky lowered Toby back onto the tracks. Thank you, Thomas, said Toby happily. Then Thomas went to go apologize to Lady. I'm sorry for being a careless Thomas, said Thomas. It's okay, Thomas, said Lady. You're still a really useful engine. Thank you, Lady, that was kind, and then Thomas puffed away. Then Thomas went to go apologize to Emily. I'm sorry I bumped into you, said Thomas. It's okay, Thomas. You're still a really useful engine, said Emily.